Hello everybody and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you've been doing very well, maybe playing this game yourself, having a lot of fun. But yeah, we are now going to get into the next part of the game. Something cool is that you can actually see that the enemies will react to other enemies and actually try to attack them. And then in this case, they're actually having a bit of issue. They're meant to be this, you know, not Guardian, but Guardian-esque thing, and yet they're having trouble. But yeah, thick stick. And we do actually want to get rid of maybe this. For this, the long stick, which has a spear type to it. And this is what I meant a bit ago. So this does 3, this does 4. So I guess I'll hold this, and then I will, yeah, I'll fuse that, and I'll be equipping this. So I'll make a spear. We now have an amber spear, which is just called amber spear. But this is a really cool system, and I think it's really damn neat. Just in case we find anything else cool, I think I would like to have, that ready. But yeah, welcome back. One thing I didn't do originally that I'll do right now is thank my Patreons. So thank you so much to Samazobazo, which is my, $10 tier Patreon, super Patreon, as well as Kyo Kyle and Ballywash, who are my regular tier Patreons. Thank you so much. You make my life way easier with groceries and other stuff like that, because that is the real hardship of doing YouTube, is not always having what you need. Also, it's so funny to see shit like that. I guess we'll take the thick stick. We like them thick. And we'll get our chest. The first time I did this, I didn't even attack them. But I do think, ooh, Soldier Reaper. One thing that is nice is it does allow you to, when you open a chest, you are allowed to swap an item out. Which I think is just such a good thing. Ooh. This will boost our stamina. Ooh, and it's a good one, too. We got a good luck roll on it. There we go. So that is a full thing. So that's with monster parts, obviously. And these charge your battery a bit. So we can actually do that. There we go. And we have a good amount of charge now. Raise attack power in high temperatures. That's interesting. But mushrooms, obviously, are something you typically want to cook. Speed up, just level 1. And then we'll just cook all of this as well, because cooking is nice. Cooking is the nice. Opal. It contains the power of water. So an opal with a weapon that's good, like a better weapon, like maybe a proper steel broadsword or something, could make it more into like a Zora broadsword kind of thing. Which is interesting. Ain't no mountain high enough. But yeah, we're on a quest to basically purge our internet browser history from our hand. Because we recorded our last session, so that's what we're trying to do in this story. Oh, it says discovery. I always thought it said discover, which is way more funny in my opinion. So these give off a little bit of light. Oh, well, it's actually worth killing these, because Keith's eyeballs will allow you to home in on enemies with your arrows, which is obviously super cool. And like with the hammers and stuff in the original game, you can, you know, use stuff. Also, these frickers. hate them. Huh. That was weird. I did not expect that to be how that went. What did he drop? A blue ball gem. A strange crystal left by the defeated bubble fogs in caves. Its eerie blue may entice you to collect even more. Someone's gonna make that into something bad. Anything that's like slightly like you want to collect it. People on the internet. Our search history is gonna get even worse. With a big one, I think you can make like a torch. And then here we go. We got the archaic tunic. So there we go. We now have an actual kind of thing going on, and we're gonna hold this. We're going to drop this, and then we're going to fuse it with our shield. So then we have like a kind of light shield that we can use. Over there is the main plot, but we can obviously interact with these things. Still. Which, you know, we want to. It is very interesting to play this kind of like a second time and be all like, oh hey, the ruby and stuff like that. Like it's still a ruby, like everyone's gonna get a ruby from that. But I think this time, I've done a better job. I will say that Ultra Hand really does feel like the best thing you have for a while. Because Fuse is a very context-sensitive kind of thing. It is really sad, though, to see Rauru kind of look over, you know, things that he may have even made himself. And just be like, you know, maybe like reminiscing a little bit and being like, oh, you know, we have need for those parts. Please use the other ones. We'll actually do that in a little bit because there's another puzzle over here. Which is this. There we go. The first time I tried to do this, that did not work. It did not allow me to lock onto this one. And it was really annoying because of it. Yeah, it seems to be some sort of weird mechanism or coding in the game where if you're above something, you can't really use it. But then see, when it's like more like high, you know, head level, you can see that it's kind of more seen as fine. So it will zoom this one out, and then we'll do that, and then we will, well, we could try. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot to this game. It's really interesting. Well, that works. We can gel with that. No, anyway, there's someone who wanted to kill me. Enemy weapons can be really strong. That's our first death. There's not going to be a death counter for this game. We're just going to really get ourselves immersed and enjoy it. Battle tip. It's dangerous to get whacked by a sword on a stick. Get him while he's weak. Get him. There we go. Grab it. Yeah, so his weapon was a broadsword and a massive thick stick. However, we did get another construct horn, which is really cool. Did we just get like potentially soft locked out of this game? Probably not, but it's still a very funny thought. And why we can... Okay, we can't. I'm very tempted to see what's up here. If it's just like nothing or not. Okay. Seems to be something. There's a massive tree trunk, so that could be something. But like, yeah, it's really fun to, I think, watch other people play games like this because it's just such a game. It's a game where you don't know what could be around every single corner. So it's one of those games that really makes you think. Yeah, I thought so. You're not Hetsu, but you can see me? I didn't know someone like you could see the children of the forest. Well, if you see Hetsu, return his shit to him. Oh, and my people will be around the entire world, even in the sky. Also, remember the fact you don't have a glider, because you might just die. Okay. I was trying to press the get down button, but boy howdy did it not want me to do that. Also, why is it not letting me grab? Why is there this weird restriction on grabbing? There we go. Yet again, you have to really forget how to play other video games to play this game, because B is run, and I'm so used to it being one of the triggers to run. But it's just not in this game. Which just feels wrong after playing, like, you know, any other game. Like Skyrim, for instance. I haven't played that in a bit, though, but, you know, just for instance. Okay. It's shit like that where you just see a tiny island off to the distance, and you're just like, I really wonder if there's going to be anything really cool on that or not. They've obviously made it so you can't just infinite height glitch your way up. But, the question is now... I guess I'm just gonna have to climb my way up. Which is death-defying, because if I fail... That doesn't sound nice. But man, it's crazy, and it looks even better. Like, I think if you're watching this on a phone or something, like, this is probably going to be like one of the best games to watch for a while. Because it does look absolutely fantastic. Whew. That was a save and a half. Whew, jeez. We already have one death. I don't want it to escalate to like 5. Okay, there we go. Recover that stamina, Link. You'll need it. Okay. Okay. Like, I think this is the way you're kind of meant to do it, but I feel like you're meant to also make that staircase. So it feels a bit weird that you have to... Like, you do the staircase and then immediately after you're like, okay, done now. Sunset Fireflies, I remember those being annoying. Give me my ancient arowana. Okay. Now it's time to make us a raft. And I was so confused on this for a little bit. Because they obviously don't really tell you much. But essentially, these things are fans, and you use them as fans. But yet again, the thing that they really don't tell you, and the thing that's really important, is how to activate them. Which is by hitting them. Which is obviously very cool. And then you... Well, that was not meant to do the thing that that did. What am I using as a weapon? I guess it's just too strong. Thankfully, we have, that stamina repairing thing. Stamina food. So, we can, simply just use our stamina to get across. But, boy howdy was that funny. And as you can see, this is very simple. All you have to do is... And I broke it. Very Cody fashion. Very Cody fashion. I do like how they look. I don't really want to hear them. Also, if you're bad at cooking, I can help you. Dude, I'm okay at cooking. And then I want to do that. That and that, and then we will maybe cook some more. I think increasing our stamina, our movement speed will be good. And then probably just 2 of these at a time is probably the best bang for our buck. It is annoying when you just want the stamina increase, but you also have the food aspect to it. Because it makes it feel like if you don't use them in a right way, you're just wasting a lot of food. Okay. I like how we just gain another fish out of nowhere. And that should be another heart. Okay, awesome. We now have a lot more food. So now we should go on. And this is probably one of my favorite sections of the game that I had played. And we're going to use our hasty 3-second increase to our speed. So they seem to have like 9, 10 health. And then the bigger ones seem to have like 20 health. But yeah, hopefully we move a little bit faster. Is there something in this tree maybe? There's an egg. I would like an egg witch. We can use the eggs for damage. But this is one of my favorite things, is there's mine carts, because of course there are. But this is more of sort of a tutorial. Essentially, you know, you can, you know, put a device on it, like a fan. Hit the fan, and then you move forward. And then you really do want to make sure you turn off your devices. Just like in real life. Please wait. This cave is especially dark. You will need a light in order to proceed. Yes, we just talked about them. Yeah. So we have one here. Huh, it really doesn't feel like our shield is doing anything. Great. However, we do see a new thing called Zoaite. Zonaite. which, you know, makes sense. It's just like the... Yeah, it just makes sense to what it is. But it is really cool, though, that, I think it would be sick if there was, like, 3 things you could do to a weapon. But having it be 2 makes the game a lot, like, simpler, so I understand why they only went with 2. But, boy howdy does it feel a bit, like, it feels a bit, like, lame that you can't, like, add one extra thing on, kind of thing. So, essentially, I'll teach you guys, a little something. Apologies for not noticing you. I was processing a zonite. Oh, you are not familiar with it? This is zonite. It can be used to basically power things. It's like a mechanical battery, but in ore form. And as it is in ore form, I need to make it into not ore form. And therefore I need to process it into the data that you use in your hand for searching for things. So Zoai technology is typically powered by Zoai charges. These occasionally solidify into a form known as crystallized charges. And basically, Zonai charges, as you can see, charge up your thing. And these ones are used to basically give you an extra battery cell. But you need 300 Zonalite in order to have enough for the first upgrade. So, it's not something that you'll just do from the little amount you find here. So, it's a cool thing, though. Because it means, like, you know, there's a little quest to them. Almost. Which I do like in games. I do like there to be, like, a little, like, grinding here and there. But not, like, excessively stupid amounts of grinding. Now let's see how much... Yeah, no, it doesn't actually tell you how much damage something is taken, which is literally the one thing we all asked for in the previous game. Like, that was the one thing we wanted to know is, oh, can we know if... Oh. Can we know if, like, things are, like, gonna break or not? And, they gave you their answer, so... Do with that information as you will. Boulder shield. Huh, well you can sidestep. So maybe that's intact anyway. And this is also a really cool thing. This is a minecart station. Excavated resources can be transported from here. Could it be that you have forgotten to use Zonai capsules? What are they? So basically, Zonais have a gotcha machine. And they give you things. And they're very important, in my opinion. Like, they are extraordinarily important. And I could go back and I could be stingy. Okay. Part of me is curious. Aww. We got our minecart swinging from side to... Anyway. I thought it would be more cool than that, but it wasn't. I guess that makes sense, though. For any miscellaneous thing, they've just made it that, it just has one. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. But one thing you want to be careful of is when you take out device, you have to just do one, and then you press B. Because for my first one, I accidentally put on 2. Which obviously is not the best. Now, are you ready, guys? Are you ready for a beautiful scene? Pretty cool, right? The time bell that sounds from the Temple of Time rings at a set time each morning and evening. Along with the constructs, we woke to the sound of the bell when we heard it in the evening. We knew it was time for rest, but it also played its part in our traditional ceremonies in a way. It was this place's beating heart. The sight of the temple and the sound of the bell stir fond memories within me. So many fond memories. This is the gacha device I was talking about. Essentially, you can pop things out, but I don't know how the hell it works. Also, like any other time you do anything in this game, you can just backtrack and then use what you used. Also, that's cool as hell. Yeah, we can just grab this device and then just use it again. Which I think is an expert way of doing things. Oh, my friend and I got separated. I think I've heard this before. Minecart! Away! Oh my god, Jesus. There you go. Here you go. Thanks for giving me my friend. Here's something in return. I do like the ones where you get 2 cork seeds. It feels way more impactful. And it's also way cuter. I feel like this style of quest should be a lot more of them alike. Because it's way more endearing. Than a lot of the other stuff. We got 1 Zonalite. Which is cool. It also means that if you didn't do anything in the cave, that you would still know what to do. Which is important. Do I hear backtracking? I think falling into a minecart, even if it's made, especially if it's made of stone, would probably hurt. I know the game wants to disagree with me, but I think that would hurt a little bit. Minecraft sword, minecart sword, away! Uh-oh. I did not think of this! Literally, I didn't even notice that half the thing was broken. That was scary. Oh, really? That sucks. At least they give you a fan. More so an attempt to make sure you don't soft lock yourself, but at least they give you the ability to easily get back. I think I understand what you're meant to do here for that, and I think it's actually a very ingenious idea. So I think we'll try to do that, because I don't want to. I think doing it differently, like playing the game differently, will allow this playthrough to feel fresh at this point. Because if I did exactly what I did the first time, well, it's not going to feel fresh now, is it? Now, what I'm thinking of doing is to chop down like a tree. You don't have to chop down a tree, but I think it's better if I chop down a tree. And then we grab this. And essentially, we make a really weird construct, right? So we put it to this to create our little system, and then we make it turbinable, and then we attach it to this thing. Okay. And then for this thing, we actually need to break that off. And then turbine it onto like there. Well, we have wood. No! Okay, proof of concept didn't work. Yeah, and that's what I mean as well. You really do need to have, things that you can use. I think maybe we're meant to actually just go back, and this is a diversion. I think that's the case, and I think I'm just a little bit dumb. I don't care if there's congested traffic. We're gonna go through. There we go. That looked really Guardian-like for a second there. Yeah, we're meant to... Welcome to my video where I'm dumb. And that's why it's fun to watch people play this game. The thing I think is interesting is I think maybe you might be able to actually go up that way. But obviously you would need some food with the spicy pepper first, obviously. But this area here is way too interesting to, not just do. I'm just gonna do 3 and 3. That should basically cover the rest of what we need. So we don't want an axe, we actually want the... We'll do the rock hammer. And then there's a bunch of bright seeds, there's giant seeds. And then boom, there's another one of these. With an amber and a ruby and an amber. Okay. I wonder what rubies do actually. They contain the power of fire. Wouldn't sapphire contain the power of water? But apparently that's what opal does. Maybe they want like ruby is like, you know, a lesser gem, so they allowed that one to be like that. We got the key swing. Arrows and other things that have been attached will fly farther. So if you have like a boomerang or something, you'll go really far. Which is interesting. Okay. I felt like there was more to that, but I think I might be thinking of what's coming up. The temperature is dangerously low. I wanted that. Okay. But like you see that, like it looks like there's like a statue on it or something. The soldier constructs and captain soldiers are the only on their duty to protect the Guardian of Time. At the time, it was sadly necessary to protect our lands from invaders. I'm terribly sorry for the threat that they pose to you now. These two are just looking at each other, just like, I don't like you. No, I don't like you. And then they bickered for the next 10 years, apparently. But yeah, I think that the first bit of this game is really well done. Oh, I'm gonna fall and pray to you again. This is a cool showcase, is essentially... Give me that booty. Blue ball gems. There's definitely like some sort of side quest. Also, bomb flowers return. And that made me really happy because I loved the days where there used to be like bomb flowers and such. Also, Jesus Christ. Bonk, bonk. And rock salt. That's actually going to be important later. Also, there's a chest over there. And another bomb flower. By the way, with the arrows, you press up on the D-pad when you've drawn your bow in order to change arrow heads. Just in case you actually wanted to genuinely know how to do that stuff. But obviously we don't at this point. Welcome to likes, guys. They are scary as fuck. Okay. I don't like them. They're very scary in this game. But they typically always drop a like stone, which is very useful in general. And a chest. So it is kind of worth it trying to kill them. Because you do actually get some genuinely good stuff. But man, are they creepy, and I love it. It's such a cool thing to go from Breath of the Wild, where it's like, am I going to be facing a bokoblin, or am I going to be facing a moblin? To this game, where it's like, oh, hi, Satan. There we go. So one of our bows is damaged, so I'm just gonna drop that. More arrows, more like stones, and what is our special reward for killing this one? Opal. I do like the likes though. They remind me of the Octoroks. I feel like the treasure Octoroks have been replaced in a cool way. So the shield that we got, actually, I'll talk about that now, is a flame emitter shield, which means that essentially when you're using it, you actually, you know, make it breathes fire and stuff, which is actually really sick. And welcome to the part of the game that made me shit myself for like 10 hours. No, actually. It took me a little bit of time to figure out, not this area, what I'm going to be showing, but instead a different point. Because there was a different point in this where I, like, looked at it for a few seconds, and then there's basically a battle on that chest, for that chest there. And it did not go well for me. So I think at least for now, I do want to actually have a little bit of success. Oh no. Up you get. Okay, but like attaching shit to each other is so instrumental in this game. I want it to be better than that. I want a better connection point. That's the other thing that's super important in this game, is getting good connection points. Because if your connection points are really bad, most of the time it's not gonna work very well. Like, it's not gonna hold up well. And you kind of need things to hold up well. Yep. The one thing that's weird though is because I'm playing this basically day of release. It really does feel weird, thinking about commentary and such. Okay. Boom. And you want it to be basically as, you know, not broken up. You want it to be as straight as a line as possible so you can climb it very easily. And when I did that for the first time, I was really proud of myself. I was like, hey, I actually did something. And here's the third shrine. Which this shrine is kind of interesting. It has a very interesting idea to it. The Gutanbach Shrine. It is nice that in some way they changed it up with these rocks. Like spiritual rocks that you enter. Because it does make it feel a bit different than the shrines. But it still feels just like the shrines. But it is really, really, really cool though. I just have to fully state that it is ridiculously cool how different this game feels than Breath of the Wild. So you've made it here. Now then, extend your right hand. I'll search for kitties. Why is there already a search for... Oh, that type of... Oh... We really need to fix this browser history of yours. Link's just like, shut up. That joke will probably fade out of existence soon. But we have Ascend! This one is a really sick one, and it's a completely new one. So, essentially, you can just travel straight up through things. I think this has the coolest applications for puzzles, in a way. Obviously. Because, so, we can ascend, right? So, it's like, oh, yeah, you can go through things. But, like, there could be so many mazes and stuff, where it's like a maze we have to ascend up and down, and like dungeons. Like, there could be so many dungeon applications for this as well. That it's so cool. Gimme. A stone axe. Bonk. And one thing I do like is it does freeze time as well, so that's why I think that there'll be like some sort of combat aspect to it, because it does stop time, and there wouldn't be much of a reason to stop time unless there was something that specifically you had to do. Where, like, you know, it would be like a puzzle thing, like you don't want to get caught by, like, whatever. Well, we can just get rid of one of these ones for it. Because wooden bow versus non-wooden bow. This is a cool puzzle as well. Is obviously you can go under the bridge. This one was kind of confusing for a little bit. Just because I was like, can you travel through it or not? But you can. And if you're quick enough, you can actually go up in one burst. You have done well to reach this place. We offer this light that will cleanse you of evil. That website you just mentioned will be erased from your browser history. Yet again, I do love the evil kind of slowly fading away out of you. It's such a cool visual. May the light grant you the strength that you seek. We've done so much, but so little in this episode. It feels crazy. Jesus. Yet again, sometimes, like, the world in this game can look so beautiful. I now see that you've restored some more power to that new arm of yours. The door to the Temple of Time should open for you now. Bye. I'm straight out of here. So we've now done that. So we can now ascend through this. I do feel like they do, at the start of this game, go into the ascend a little bit too much. And you'll see what I mean later, but there's a few times where it feels like, okay, like, you don't have to do it this much. I really like this, though. You get warm greaves, which means that, hey, you now no longer need, to have all these other things, essentially. And I'll let you guys figure out what some of these extra things are. But, for now, I would like to fly through the sky. I think we'll go with one of these ones. This really reminds me of the Glooper Blooper Racing from Maya Sunshine. With a tinge of the Sandbird. It does feel really, really cool. That did not go the way I wanted it to at all. That's fine. The one thing that you'll really notice about this game as well is it does not have the glider. So they removed the glider and you really do feel it, but I think it's for better. They've kind of made the world to kind of fit without the glider. So it feels weird when you think about it, like, oh, but Breath of the Wild was kind of defined by the ability to climb up high and then glide down with the glider. So it's weird that its sequel would completely abandon that kind of thing. But then you do remember that this is a completely different game in a way. Like, this is meant to be a completely different game, rather. And then you're like, oh yeah, right. And I did it like that way because I found this, because I was like, oh, because I floated to that island up there. Where Rauru is right now. And I was all like, oh, cool. And then I wonder if I can sequence this differently. No, I can't. Okay. I know what happens because obviously I've done this before, and I was just thinking ahead, like, this would save us a little bit of time. I will have this episode end. I'll try to film like 5 episodes essentially. And yeah, I have this episode end with me being ready to fall. So then it's fair for you guys. Like 2 episodes, Saturday, Sunday, or for my American audience, Friday, Saturday. Boom, you'll have, like, you know, that. Yeah. And then, you know, 2 days after that, you'll have, like, you know, that stuff. But look at Zelda! It feels weird that we were with her, physically with her, at the start of the game, and 2 hours later we're reminded that she does exist. But that's just how crazy this game is. It does make you kind of recontextualize a lot of the game. But finally we're wearing pants. But we can see kind of like visual, you know, like that's like a really visual nod to other things. Like, it feels really important and dramatic. I'm sensing you have a dark history in your search bar. Allow me to change that for you. To just Princess Zelda, without the other word. I see what you do on Twitter. I see what the Twitter people do. Why am I so thick in half of them? It saddens me every day. It's so cool. It really does kind of itch that like steampunk desire that we wanted for Zelda. But in a more fantasy way. Also, Link looks like a tiny kid with those boots on. It really screws you with your perception of how tall he is. Because he's meant to be fairly, like, tall. Like, 180 maybe, 175. Also, water stays on you for a bit, which is really cool. Hello, it is I, Ravu, again. Danny Sexbang is gonna love me. Most likely. I think, that's gonna be the... I think that's what everyone's waiting for the most. It's a lot of people are waiting for the, oh, Breath of the Wild 2 Tears of the Kingdom, like, like, oh man, we gotta get, like, all the really good, jokes together and stuff. But, yeah, it's good. It's definitely gonna be interesting, and I can't wait, because, because everyone can play this game so differently. And because of that, it really does create this sense of amazement yet again. But, like, yet again also, the starting bit isn't as crazy. The thing I'm kind of weirded out by is the fact that the original's Great Plateau kind of felt like you could play it for, like, 8 hours, like 5 hours or something. But you could beat it very quickly. While this one kind of just feels like, even when I was trying not to rush through it, it still took me, like 3 hours. So we don't have enough to pray, because it's the same system as Breath of the Wild. Open! Please! And we can do it. So obviously we're going to need to have 4 hearts. The door of vitality says no. You've remained in a weakened state. You're not yet strong enough to open it. But there is still one more shrine on this island. There you can get another blessing. And then pray for your heart. Where's the skip button? I already said everything. Allow me to show you on the Pura Pad where you need to go. The Pura Pad allows you to travel to certain places instantly. And remember at the start of the game, you went somewhere. I tried to look at it, by the way, and not like go too crazy on it. So that you guys wouldn't like you guys might think like, oh, that's a thing. Like that's cool that there's just like stuff here. But no, I bamboozled you. It's actually an elaborate puzzle. And I think this is personally one of my favorite things that they do in the game is they say, hey, remember those things you see? And it really puts into perspective. You wouldn't think that this is like, you might look at it, you might be like, oh, it's a set piece. But it's a puzzle. You ascend, which you wouldn't think that you could do unless you watch the trailers. And then you rewind, which rewinds both of them because they're both actually connected by the same thing. And I like how rewind works fairly, but it isn't too crazy at the same time. But yeah, and then it's just like, boom, there was a shrine here the whole time, the Nakuya shrine. The Nachoya, maybe, I don't know. It's one of the two. But welcome into the shrine. And then boom, that is all. Like, how cool is it? It's a really cool roundabout way of doing things. The only thing I wish is that you could have done it in a different order, maybe. Like, you could do the fuse one first. But yeah, rewind is shown to be so cool here. It is actually kind of rad how they use it. It's so cool. So obviously, like, oh, the thing came out of the water. But then you can just jump on it. And, like, it literally feels like a Tracer. But, like, how cool is that? Like, I just love you're submerged in the water for a little bit. And then, like, you're not. I like that so much. Like, it's so cool that it fully repeats the action. "10 arrows. That's actually kind of nice. This worked so much better when I did it originally. I don't know why now it's being annoying. It's so hard to time right. Because I'm trying to time it. There we go. I think it was that I wasn't able to properly see in my head which one was which. And because of that, I kept trying to, like, do it differently than how you're meant to. But we'll skip this a little bit. The Light of Blessing. May the Light of Blessing grant you the power that you seek. We'll stop doing the joke now. But yeah, this game is really cool. And I think the added thing of the Zoai the Zoai tech really does help a bit. This is a crystal refinery. Oh yeah, so this is where you make them into the upgraded versions. And now we'll be able to fly. But first, before we enter the sky, I would like to learn the secrets of the Korok. Because I was like, there has to be something up here in my original playthrough of this. Which yet again was only 3 hours, and I basically got to the ground, did one shrine, and then just whoop. But yeah, so there's some stuff here. But the main thing that we're looking for is obviously a Korok. So we got wing times 3, so we now have a few of each capsule that we've seen so far. So we have the one of the fire one. We have like one fan one, I think, left. But here we go. We've found one Korok more than I originally did. But yeah, so I'll see you all in the next episode. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.